If she had only been ugly.
Dan Ahdoot, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant young comic, may I say.
Oh, thank you. That
It's so good.
You probably said that. I imagine you say that for everybody.
No, because they're all much older than you.
Right.
We've been working together at the Laugh Factory. I've really gotten to know his work in about the last year. He's terrific. Go see him wherever he is.
Thanks,
and,
Tom. That means a lot coming from you.
Stop it. Stop it with the stroking. Anyway, we were trying not to talk about things, so we talked inevitably about a few things.
Yeah, we talked about food.
Food, passion for food.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was so sad. I saw my ex-girlfriend in Toronto, and I said, boy, you believe I have a double chin? She goes, that's not all. Like, in other words, there's other places you're fat, too.
All right.
Wait, thank you. Way to stick up for me, babe.
So you dated a girl in Toronto?
Montreal.
In Montreal?
Montreal, the other part of Canada.
I love Montreal. It's probably one of my favorite
You've done
cities
the
in
festival,
North
right?
Yeah.
I've done the festival more than any other white guy.
Is that true?
I'm kidding about the white, but yeah, I think so. Americans.
Yeah.
Maybe me and Bobby Slayton. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you.
What's your name? Daniel Dom. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome. This is Dan.
Dan. All right. You too.
Thanks for the hydration. I get nervous when I talk.
Hydration.
So you've been doing a lot of stuff, huh? I mean, we're going to have to cover some of this. First of all, any dates coming up in January, February you want to plug?
Not really. I mean, I'm at the Laugh Factory every weekend.
Which one? This
The one in Hollywood, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hollywood Laugh Factory.
Have you done Vegas?
No, I haven't. I heard Mike David was telling me about it, that I should call in my avails or whatever.
You should if you have time, because it's really good practice, because it's 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
You know, some guys go, oh, fuck it, 2 shows a night. I'm thinking, well, if you're going to do them, take advantage of it. Write something. Find your fucking pen, pal.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
It's true.
How about the other one, the Long Beach one?
Long Beach I do once in a while. I enjoy it there. I like the crowds. It's a very different crowd from here. It seems like more of a road crowd.
It is, yeah.
Right?
It's definitely more of a road crowd.
More of a road crowd. Except for when it's very Mexican.
How did they fill this water like this? I'm almost suspicious. I'm suspicious
Would
of
you just
it.
go to the dentist, huh?
No.
Yeah, what's it called?
It is very Mexican.
It's very Mexican sometimes. It's either super white or super Mexican.
Speaking of Mexican, I just worked with Gabriel Iglesias.
Amazing.
Man, is he fucking strong.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse.
Holy shit. I've been doing stand-up a long time. I've never seen a stronger act.
For real.
Yeah, I'm not saying, all the material is, I don't want to put it down, but I'm saying, everything is not, because you get so jaded as a comedian.
Right.
So you're thinking everything is not whatever, but a lot of it is way up. But the reaction was fucking phenomenal. He's a good kid, too.
Yeah, I opened for him once at Cal State Northridge.
Uh-huh.
And
Did he get a big reaction?
crazy. I mean, he destroys.
He does.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what I like about his act? Like how you were saying, like some of the stuff isn't like so heady or whatever. It's funny because I went through this phase. I feel like I came up when alternative comedy started making its real ascent, like in New York.
Yeah.
And being silly was really frowned upon.
See, I like silly.
I love silly. And like I feel like I'm finally confident enough in myself and in my material now that I can bring silly back and not give a shit like what other comics think. I feel like I'm trying to get away with giving a shit what comics think, and that's been like...
Yeah, you shouldn't worry about that. The back of the room, you know what? You'll end up being a late-night comic if you played at the back of the room.
Yeah, playing to the back of the room, exactly. I think...
Back of the room meaning the comic sitting in the back, watching you, judging you, laughing at like some hip reference that the audience doesn't know. That's the back of the room. It gets old.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why... it has such an effect on me.
Gilbert Gottfried was a back of the room comedian. I mean, he's also funny, but he was like always played to the back too.
Right.
Which
is fun for us, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care enough. I'd rather see somebody writing and improving.
Yeah.
So what's the thing you wanted to tell me about? Did you write a movie?
I did write a movie. Yeah.
Jamie was telling me. What's going on?
I wrote a movie. I was hired to write a movie for Lionsgate about 7 months ago. And I just finished it, like turned in the final draft like last week.
How'd you know how to write it?
A lot of learning. I mean, it was a lot of on the spot learning. Like they hired me off of a TV spec that I wrote. And basically the topic was, so it's a movie about these YouTube stars that are wildly famous around the world. They're called the Janoskians.
That's very topical.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not, no, they're real people.
Oh, they really are?
Yeah, they're real.
No, but I mean, it's very topical to do a movie about YouTube.
100%.
It had to be made.
And that's what's happening now is that these YouTube stars are getting deals with studios, and then they're hiring a writer to write them. So they hired me to write it. And
you're writing in conjunction with these guys?
I'm writing the whole movie.
Yeah, but I mean, they're real.
Yes, they're real. So it's going to be like a Borat style movie, like that type of thing.
Right.
Like a little bit of real, a little bit, a little bit scripted.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, just finished that up, which was a very interesting process. I had never done anything like that. But it's funny. As stand-ups, I feel like we write one joke and we flush it through. And the thing that was very complicated about this is that it's like you have like 30 different puzzle pieces that are trying to mesh at the same time. And it's a lot more difficult, I think.
I'm always amazed at that. Like, the most amazing show to me ever was Seinfeld because he would tie together 4 different plots.
Yeah.
And make it make sense at the end.
Yeah, those had like A story, B story, C story, D story. I mean,
I have a friend who was a producer on Everybody Loves Raymond, and he said sometimes they had just an A story, sometimes A and B, and that was it. They never went into D. Like Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, I think, is the only show to ever have so many concurrent
Fucking brilliant.
things. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
I remember being on a show one time, on an episode of that, where Larry David wrote out, handwritten, to Michael Richards, a scene about driving a bus. The girl's toe was cut off. He was driving to save the toe. And he wrote the whole thing, and Michael acted it out just like that. It was brilliant. Do you remember that episode?
I don't think so.
Oh. Jerry,
thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, brother. Gabriel, I hope you last here a while. Please don't leave me alone like those other fucks. You got to be clean, by the way, on this.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And don't show your cock.
Don't show my cock. Can't say jizz, pussy.
No.
Got it.
Jizz you can say.
Jizz is okay?
Jit we prefer. The proper Philadelphia one.
Yeah, I say it in French style, like jizz.
Jizz.
Le jizz.
I think that means the jizz, right?
Yeah.
I like to translate.
Le jizz.
Yeah. So are you married?
No, I'm single.
What's going on? What's going on with the babes?
You know what I think my problem is? I think my problem is...
Who said you had a problem?
I'll tell you. I think I have a problem. I don't know. Maybe
I think your problem is you think you have a problem.
That's probably it. But I feel like the girls that I think that I deserve, I don't have the balls to go up to.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. That's a shitty problem.
Well, I remember when I worked as a parking cars, the River Cafe in Brooklyn, and the beautiful models never got asked out.
Right.
Only guys like Tom Brady ask models out.
Right, exactly.
Regular guys, they go, oh, fuck, she's not going to want to go out with me. And I'm thinking, she wants to go out with somebody.
Yeah.
Even if you're not fucking, at least you're having company. And
anytime I've been with a really hot girl, they've all told me the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, especially really tall girls.
Yeah.
I do fantastically well with very tall girls because no one hits on them. No one hits on tall girls.
Well, because you're intimidated by it.
Yeah.
And plus you look like a monkey walking with them.
Hey. What the hell?
Not you.
I got to talk about my cranial structure.
Not you. One.
I do resemble a little bit. I look more like a monkey than you look like a monkey.
What do I look like? A fucking badger? I look like a panda bear. I don't know what the fuck's happened to my looks. God, I hate myself.
Were you ever married?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was married.
Once, twice?
Well, I was married once, but I lived with people. I had a college girl, we lived together. Then I had a break for a few years. Then I met who would be my wife, and her and I are still very tight. And then after we broke up, there was another one, and then the last one was Sophie. There was also one who I loved, who was a a girl from New Jersey who was married. And it was tough. She was going through a lot of stuff. But anyway, long answer. Yes, I've been married once, but really married 5 times in my head.
Right. You know what I'm always impressed about by you?
Yeah. My gait, my walk,
your gait is
my
fantastic.
strut.
Besides your fantastic gait, I'm always impressed that you know every single waitress's name at the Laugh Factory.
Well, I do that on purpose.
You're very good at that.
Well, you never know. Someday I may be fingering them.
You know, it's funny you say that because there's a couple of women, there's a couple of ladies who work here.
I fingered her.
Do they watch this? They probably don't watch this.
But it doesn't matter. They're all my friends. My thing is, honestly, we're working together, and I humanize them.
Yes.
So I do that on purpose. Like if a girl's coming up here, I say, Sarah, how you doing? You look beautiful tonight, And and I'll fuck around. Last night, not so hot. Tonight, you look great.
Yeah.
Whatever, some stupid joke. But now the audience can't say that a human being wasn't waiting on them,
Right?
Wasn't serving them. So that's why I do it.
I love it. It's such like a cool little. It's like It's one of the coolest things that you do. I think it's like because it brings this like, I don't know. It gives you this gravitas. Like you own the room, and I feel like the waitresses love it when you do it with them.
Some of them. A couple of them freeze in the headlights. They don't know what to say. And also...
Yeah, but they don't get offended. None of them get offended or whatever. But it's always like... It's always so fun to watch. It's like, oh, this guy is like... He's a professional. He knows what he's doing.
Well, thanks.
He gives like... You give thought to... But it's funny. Speaking of finger banging the waitresses, like there's a couple waitresses here that I would love to ask out on a date.
Oh, you want me to introduce you? Is that where you get?
No, I know
Is that where all this stroking is going to?
That's why I'm here. And that is why I'm here, Dom. No, but I feel like... And it's not even like I want to fuck them, I'm done. I'm kind of done with that stage of my life. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Just having a hiatus. You're not done.
Yeah, I
Believe me, when you meet the right one, Sophie, the French Canadian girl, the last one, well, not the next to the last one.
Yeah.
5 years we fucked every day.
Wow.
Every day. At least come once, maybe 3 times.
Wow.
5 years.
And how many of those times was she duct taped and arms tied behind her back?
Well, she woke up in the middle of about 20 of them, but the rest of that she slept like a baby.
Well, the Benadryl worked really well, right?
Well, whatever. It was a combination. It was a chemical soup that I created.
a cocktail of chemicals. Oh,
Who's the last one you've been with? My arm.
Wait, hold on. Let's get back to the waitresses for a second.
All right.
I feel like I don't want to ask them. I don't want to ask them out because if it doesn't go well, then I have to come to work and see them all the time.
That's a problem.
And I hate that.
I never hit on anybody at work, but what I do is, if anybody ever came to me and I liked them, that's different. But like I have, MJ.
Yeah.
Is a platonic friend. She's beautiful.
I love MJ.
MJ comes over to the house. We get fucking ripped.
Oh, no way.
She'll sleep over too. Now she knows that I'm not gonna fucking. She's not gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be tweaking her nipples.
Yeah.
She knows that she can trust me.
You blow on them. You won't actually touch them.
No, I will blow on them. I will spray. I blow, but I also spray a little moisture to make them shine. I still can't tell if her tits are real or not.
That sounds great. I would love to join you guys in one of your getting fucked up.
If you're around here one night, definitely.
Yeah. No, I love MJ. I mean, everyone's so pleasant here.
Her and Sarah, Sarah, the Asian Sarah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't work here anymore, but is so fucking hot.
Yeah, she's at Scarpetta, the restaurant.
They were over my house one night, and we got the fucking giggles. Like that great moment that you can't duplicate. And then you tell somebody what was so funny, and they look at you and go, oh, that's funny.
Right.
And then you forget it. Forget telling about those moments. But anyway, that's a lot of fun.
You are a ladies' man, though. I mean, the ladies love you here.
Because I don't hit on them.
Right.
I don't think they'd love me if I was,
right,
smarmy.
Yeah, there's a lot of smarm that they deal with.
Well, I think that the overhug, I always bust, what's his name? The big guy who nobody knows what race he is.
Eric Griffin?
Eric Griffin. He overhugs, but he admits it.
Yeah.
But he starts licking their necks and shit. They're fucking, what they act like? Like a cat. When a cat is being held, and as soon as you let him go, he sprints away. That's what they're like with him.
That's hilarious.
But he's not the only one.
No.
We were talking about Godfrey before. Godfrey's relentless.
Godfrey is one of the more handsome men I've ever seen in my life, though. He can probably get away with it.
I had a girl in here, was one of my best friend's daughter. She was 17. Beautiful girl. And I said, don't hit on her. I'm telling you right now. I told all the comics, I said, leave her the fuck alone. She's like a niece to me. Of course, Godfrey hits on her. Didn't work. But I'm saying, what, didn't I fucking ask you? I worked with him, I was telling you, in Canada with Gabriel. So
Is he still with that girl? He was with like a woman who was like a banker or something?
Well, it was very funny because he was up there
I shouldn't
and he
be talking about his dirty laundry.
Doesn't matter. Let them.
Godfrey's a friend, though. I love Godfrey.
You don't have to disclaim it.
I love black people. I have a black friend.
I have 2 black friends and a black mother.
I have 2 black friends.
I've got 2, and I've got a couple half and half friends.
I mean, I bought them, but I got 2 friends.
I have. What nationality are you?
Iranian.
Oh, I asked you this on stage. I remember that. Do you speak Farsis?
I do. You
have no accent, though.
I speak more Farsi than Jamie does. Well, I was born in America.
Jamie's full of shit.
Yeah, Jamie. I don't know what kind of fucking country. That accent is like the CIA couldn't like put
He's
it
from
through
East LA. Who the fuck is he kidding? Body, I don't know body.
But I was born. I'm American. I was born in New York, in Harlem.
And your parents were born in Iran?
In Iran, yeah.
Did they escape when the Shah?
They left early, actually. They left a little bit earlier. They saw the writing on the walls.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they were also Jewish, so they were like, "We got to get the fuck out."
Jewish, Iranian, yeah.
Yeah, they moved to Israel first, and then they moved to.
Well, that's what Jamie did. So he claims. Who the fuck knows what the truth is?
I think Jamie is like the head spy for ISIS, and he's just here to recruit.
Where did they come from all of a sudden, ISIS?
ISIS? That is a long history to get into.
But why didn't we hear about them last year?
I think that they were. I think there was a power vacuum by when they were trying to get rid of the Syrian president.
Oh.
That was filling in by a lot of disgruntled Sunnis, and these guys kind of filled that vacuum in because
smart, isn't he? Fuck. Let's go back and listen. Go ahead.
Anyway, and it's also a lot of former Saddam Hussein people who are like, all right, now it's our turn to fuck with you after you fucked with us. So, also Iraq is such a bogus country. Like it was just like created after World War I.
It's a bunch of tribes, right?
Yeah, it was like created literally after World War I. Like some fucking drunk British guy just took a pen and like said, yeah, this looks good. It's like 3 warring tribes that are like living in the same place that should have no business living in the same country. So all of the Sykes-Picot agreement of after World War I is
Sykes-Picot?
Yeah, that was like when after World War I when they separated up the Middle East.
It's
like,
fucking really smart.
All of that is coming to a head right now.
This?
It's kind of interesting on a geopolitical scale. I love pussy too. I do love pussy.
No, it's just that I don't usually have someone on the show that's smarter than me. I have people like Todd Glass, David Spade, regular guys. Down to earth people.
Yeah, I know. I'm here to lift the level of this podcast.
Where'd you go to college?
From the filth.
The filth and the muck.
The filth and the muck. I went to Johns Hopkins.
It's Johns Hopkins.
Yes. I'm so glad you know that.
I told somebody that. They said John Iko. She said John Hopkins. Like I said, it's John's.
I'm so fucking happy that you know. I actually have a pretentious T-shirt that says it's John's and has like 5 S's. Hopkins.
Now, what is the? Are they a science school? Are they?
It's a it's a regular undergrad, but their medical school is like one of the best in the world.
Medical school. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna do that initially. I was gonna be a doctor.
You'd be a good doctor.
You think so?
I would trust you.
I'm hoping I'd make a better comedian than a doctor.
No. I like you. I think you're a better doctor. I mean, I've seen you comedian.
Yeah. Not
my cup of tea. I got to tell you.
Right. It's
No, I've never seen you not do well.
Oh.
And
you haven't seen a lot of my shows.
Yeah, I don't get to see you much. I saw you once. Actually, not a whole time, but a minute. I was walking through the back.
Right. They were clapping as I was coming up the stage. And you said, you must be doing it right.
You did well. They clapped. I wanted to ask you something about so did you start stand-up in college?
I was doing improv and sketch in college.
Yeah.
And I would write all these very edgy sketches. And it was college, so everyone was very...
Etch sketches?
Yeah, I'd write these etch sketches. Uh-huh. And everyone was very PC, and they didn't want to do them. And I got really frustrated. So I was like, I'm gonna do stand up because no one can tell me what to do. So I started doing open mics in Baltimore
What place?
at shitty places. I don't know.
Burke something?
There was a place on Water Street, some shit house.
Were you there when the Improv was there?
Yes, but this was pre-improv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I
I
worked-
moved to New York and did the Boston Comedy Club. That was like my home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's all full circle. Like the first club that I ever performed at was the Boston Comedy Club, and now Barry Katz is my manager.
Barry Katz is your manager?
Yeah.
Ay, caramba. Even he doesn't trust himself. He's a character.
He is a character.
Well, good luck, man. Yeah, I know you're going to do very well. You're already doing well.
Thanks, man. I'm trying. It's a hustle, huh?
Write a movie? Well, it's a lot of fun, though. I mean, if you think of the alternatives, you know, I've talked to a lot of people about that. And a lot of people don't appreciate what we have, but I fucking do. I appreciate that moment of looking at the sun coming up and then pulling the drapes together and taking a Xanax. No, I don't have to wake up till 2. Like, I actually had to set my alarm for this podcast.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Now,
For
this
real?
podcast is 3:30 LA time. I got up at 1:30, like a real Hollywood man. I went and got my hair dyed. You know, like a fucking dude,
Like a man does.
like a minch, like a stud.
Yeah.
And then I raced over here.
Wow.
And then I got dinner tonight. I was supposed to. Did you ever do that? The show? It's fucking funny. Kill Tony.
No, what's that?
Tony Hinchcliffe and these guys have a show that the comedian does 1 minute and you critique him. And I did it, but then Jamie had a dinner planned for me tonight, so.
Bali, we're going to dinner. We're going to the Del Taco.
No, buddy, we don't go to. What am I doing? I'm turning. Buddy.
Jamie loves to tell me how shitty my teeth are, and
Your teeth aren't shitty.
I don't think they're that bad.
It's out of his fucking mind.
He makes it seem as if I'm like the fucking Elephant Man. How shitty my teeth are, and how I'm fucking up my career because I don't hire a PR person.
Well, he was talking very highly about you when he knew I was.
I don't believe it. I don't buy it. No, actually,
Behind your back, he was talking highly.
behind my back, he's very.
It's his sense of humor. He thinks he has to. He wouldn't do it if he didn't like you.
He's the type of guy where the more he loves you, the more he makes fun of you. Like with me, that's been the case. But yeah, he might be. So I guess this is gonna come out in January, so I can talk about this. But I just sold a TV show to Fox.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's why he wants me to hire a PR person. But
Glad I have him on the show. I didn't even know this. Maybe he'll get me something someday. You know, the neighbor. I could play the neighbor.
wacky neighbor.
The wacky neighbor. All you see is my head. Remember, like on Tim Allen's show, you didn't see his face. All you see is my head. You don't see my body.
What a gig! Who was that guy who played the fucking?
I have no idea. Isn't that sad?
He's like the luckiest, richest, probably the most depressed rich man in the world.
Yeah. I know. Like, he's at a bar and nobody talked to him, and then like the chicken comes in or some like fucking mascot in like the chicken outfit with the head thing up and women around. Oh, hi, chicken. I always loved you. Before when you were just a San Diego chicken, that was cool. But I love your independent chicken too.
Right. Oh man, he probably sits at the bar like just covering his face so that people recognize.
Does this sound familiar to you?
Does this look? Oh man, that's funny.
That's great. What's a TV show? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I can talk about it, but it's based on. It's
I knew I was doing the right thing, booking this fucking guy.
I mean, now I got to deliver. That's the thing. But
deliver.
yeah,
You have no problem. You're a Jew. You're bright.
I'm a hardworking Jew. It's basically a lot of it. The jump off point. It's called Dan Derailed, and it's about how I don't know if you know this, but in my real life, I played a character on Disney named Falafel Phil.
Yeah, one night I was busting your chops
Yeah,
about it, kidding
exactly.
around. But did something happen there about it being racist or something?
I mean, it's racist, but like, no. I mean, they.
Oh, because Jamie said something about
Yeah, I mean.
a lawsuit or.
Oh, well, here's what I did a podcast, and I did like a tell-all about it.
Oh.
And like they went nuts.
Really?
So I kind of took it down.
Are they suing you?
No. It was fine.
Oh.
But
See
basically,
how he exaggerates, though?
yeah. I mean, it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
But basically, it's funny because like I feel like selling this Fox show has vindicated me playing Falafel Phil for 4 years, in a way. But it's exciting, man. I'm like very excited to write this
That's
and
great.
do some good shit. I feel like it's better. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me ask you a question. At what age would you say you? I don't want to say made it because I fucking hate that word. But at what age would you say like you made it? Like, or how many years were you in the trenches before something started happening?
I think I really felt like I made it when I was about 7. You know, I was doing stand-up at a Catholic school. I really did do stand-up when I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, there was a big lull between 7 and when I actually did work for a living. I don't know the age as much as I remember the period it took. It happened very fast for me, but a lot of it had to do with acting chops. You know, because like all my nerves were gone by after I played the rabbi and Fiddler on the Roof in college, and Felix in The Odd Couple, and Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and doing all that shit, and then doing children's theater. By the time I did stand up, I just needed an act. I was already a polished performer. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
So but making it from this time I started doing stand up, I was doing TV in about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I mean, I did Star Search, and then I got like Thick of the Night, and then I got The Tonight Show, and I started in 80. By 85, I was really in gear, you know.
So here's my question, because I feel like, so I'm 36 now, and I've had a couple of nice successes along the way, but I feel like the longer it takes for you to explode or whatever it is, I've seen people that like they graduate college and then suddenly they just get their sitcom, and they all turn into these.
There's no one path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like you don't appreciate it as much, and I feel like you might not be as humble or as grateful as you know if you're in the trenches and like you know you fucking traveled around the country doing shit college shows in cafeterias, and
well, you know it's like in athletics, right? If you don't make it by 28 as a running back, it ain't gonna happen.
right.
There are certain ages that are just defined of making or breaking points. But in this, you just don't know. I mean, Rodney Dangerfield didn't make it till his 50s.
Right.
And he was world famous for 20, 25, 30 years, you know, till he was 80.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, it's you shouldn't even poison your mind with because you're on an upward slope, and however it happens, I mean, you could shoot out of the box on writing this thing, or you could do it as a performer. I mean, I think it's harder to write than do stand up. I think maybe because for me it is, but if you could have both vehicles, I mean, fucking A.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, Larry David didn't have the options you have because he wasn't as good a stand up as you.
Right. Well.
You know what I mean?
Thank
you know, I mean, I love Larry, and I think he's brilliant. His stand up was not nearly as brilliant as he is.
Right.
And if he hears this, I love you. I'm just bringing up your name because to show you an extreme example of brilliance, not always balanced the same.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think
I feel like I would hurt him by saying that. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I'm not going to edit it out, but
I think he'll be okay.
think he'll make it.
Larry's gonna be all right. Larry's gonna be okay.
Little Larry.
Little Larry's gonna be fine.
Well, what's your dream for?
This is my dream.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why I've had a fair amount of, I'd say, good stress around this because I don't want to fuck it up. But yeah, my dream is to write and perform on my own TV show. 100%. That's it. I'm gonna
perform as an actor or as a stand-up.
As an actor.
And how much does stand-up fit into the equation?
It's not much. Not. Oh, you mean into of my dream?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's part of. Yeah, and then be able to go around.
Right, like Tosh.
Yeah, like a Tosh or like a, I'm trying to think of who is a good example of like, has a scripted show who travels around a lot.
Excuse me. Well, scripted show.
Yeah, like the last time
Tim Allen does.
Yeah, Tim Allen.
And he's done it twice, which is pretty fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Bob
so
Newhart
crazy.
had like 3 hit series.
Yeah.
You know, Tosh is interesting because I mean, you know, I'm prejudiced towards him. He's one of my best friends, but he's interesting because he didn't get what he wanted, but he got something better.
Right. What did he want?
He wanted a talk show,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't go that way for him. But the show that he's on now has so much more freedom. I was writing this bit. Tell me if you think it's funny at all about the idea of listening to this vapid idiot actress and faking interest in her story. And the story is like late at night, our 2 kittens will come into our bed and wake us up for no reason. And that's it.
Right.
Like that's the story, and people clap.
Right.
Like it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of shit. And I'm thinking, how the fuck do you not say something? And you can't, like when you're Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, Jimmy's terrific, but you can't, like, especially Fallon. Fallon's too nice to say anything. He'll just fake laugh or real laugh, you know. And at the stupid story, there's nothing. There's no substance.
Right. You
to
just
it.
want to fucking flip the table and be like, "What are we all doing here?"
Yeah. What the fuck? Who cares
Yeah,
about
you have to. I feel like to be a late night talk show host now, like you have to have like zero cynicism in you at all. I mean, Letterman's the only person who's like allowed to get away with that cynicism, kind of.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, I don't mind Craig Ferguson because he's so fucking goofy.
Yeah.
But that's him. But it's amazing how corny what's
A genre?
Genre it
Yeah.
is. Because at one time it was really cool to do late night talk show, but the podcast fucking taken over. I do Rogan's podcast. Forget it. Like so many people come out because of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Not. And if I did every talk show in that week, I would not get as many people as just doing Joe's show once.
get out of here.
Yeah.
For real.
The talk shows mean fucking nothing.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
And I would still do them. I mean, once in a while, but I hate writing those sets. Have you done any yet?
Yeah, I've done a couple Tonight Show sets.
Yeah, you know, they're hard, aren't they?
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the older you get, the more you want to do long form comedy, and it makes it a little more difficult.
I just hate that it has to be like clever and have an ending. And
Yeah,
like they said, "What's your ending?" One time, I go, "I don't know. Thank you. I've been great." How about that? How about
man,
that?
I have a joke that's so fucking perfect for late night, except for the fact that it has the word "fuck" in it.
That'll do it. But you
But,
know,
but I can't change. Can I? Let me pitch it to you, and you tell me if I can replace it with a different word.
All right.
Okay. Occasionally, I'll get like a super hot girl's phone number, but it's never a smooth transaction. Like whenever I get a super hot girl's phone number, it's always preceded by the words, "You know what? Fuck it."
No.
You can't say "screw it."
No.
You can't say, "Yeah."
You could say "screw it," but it's not as
it's
funny.
not the same as "fuck it."
No.
I mean, and the funny thing is that joke gets the best reaction in the most vanilla, clean rooms because it's not like a vulgar fuck.
No. It's like a
but-
frustrated fuck.
It's a frustrated fuck.
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't do a frustrated fuck on late.
No, you just save that for your Showtime special or whatever you do, a half hour or an hour, you know.
You know what's funny? I think my Achilles heel when it comes to stand-up is organizing my jokes. I feel like
Well,
I have
that's so hard about the 5-minute things because they have to be organized
yeah.
some way.
Even like organizing a half hour, organizing an hour. I don't know. Like whenever I do long sets, it's all like doesn't have a thread or anything like that.
Yeah, I like that.
You know.
I like
But even specials though. Like I don't know. Like how much does a special get you these days anymore?
Well, it's all according to how much the audience goes crazy
How
over.
much they already know you. Like
Yeah.
you have to do TV stuff or something like that to be able to have that notoriety to be able to
Yeah.
capitalize on it. You know,
Yeah.
when YouTube people are doing a 5-second or Vine stars who have 7 seconds of
I know.
they're like selling out stadiums. It's like what the fuck?
Not stadiums, arenas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know Chris D'Elia is real hot on that.
I mean, but Chris is a fucking fantastic comic though too. I mean, he backs it up with comedy.
Yeah, he does. He's
You know.
terrific.
Yeah, it's It's an interesting. We're at an interesting place in this career.
Chris is interesting because, first of all, I really like him. Secondly, he's very serious for such a wacky guy on stage.
Yeah,
very,
he is.
like intense. He's so
Yeah.
little Brando-ish.
Yeah, it's true. And his stuff on stage is so goofy and fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Steve Martin was. I mean, the times I met him, he was so morose. and
Really?
Fucking like I was bothering him. You know, I'm doing an interview for Comedy Central. I'm not a real journalist. Give me a break. You know.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not really like that off stage, which makes me think that I'm not that great of a comic because I'm like, I think I'm kind of normal off stage.
You are normal.
I know, but I don't think it's good for comedy. I think you need to be a weird, like a brooding,
Nah.
have your head elsewhere.
I don't think about it. You know, I really like once I get enough attention on stage.
Right.
Once I get off stage, I just want to blend into everybody. Like I'm going to see my family next week in Philly, and I'm not the funniest one in the house.
Right.
Everybody's funny.
Yeah.
It's not like, wait, Dom's a professional. Let him tell a story.
Right.
You know, it's like,
Right.
everybody, my cousin Michelle's funny, Susan, they're all fucking riot.
You know, I will say this, though. Something that I do, which I could see other people saying, oh, comics are all assholes when they're off stage or whatever. When people start talking to me about, like, say something funny or, like, what got you into comedy? Like some idiot.
Oh, yeah.
My Uber driver was like, so what made you get into comedy? And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I really would rather not talk about this right. So I could see someone being like, oh, this guy's such a dick. It's like, things like that have become like kryptonite to me.
I know. I had a guy, I was flying to Australia, flying to Sydney from LA, and he recognized me in the first class lounge. And he knew every fucking bit I did in the, early days. And he starts doing my bits. Now, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Laugh at my bits or go, boy, that is fucking funny.
Sounds like hell.
And he's sitting across from me on the plane. Like I have a cubicle in first class. It's really fucking expensive, but it's worth it. And I got this guy, and he's looking up, and he's going, hey, little Petey, big Petey, Joey bag of donuts, huh?
Oh, my God.
And then to top it off, I'm fucking lazy. If you give me a present, just give me the present. Don't make me have to do something for it. And what happened was we had hit these headwinds that were really brutal. And so we were like getting lower on fuel, so we had to stop in Fiji, right? And once in a while it happens, rarely. Yeah. And they gave us a prize on the, we had to look it up on the internet and all this shit. And he said, aren't you going to get your prize? I go, no, I don't want to fucking look it up. Looking it up is work. He goes, but it's a prize. I go, but I don't care. He goes, well, you can't not get your prize. I'm thinking, what am I fucking, married to this fucking nut? Anyway, I digress.
That sounds like, like that, I'm going to sound like a pretentious dick again, but the Jean-Paul Sartre, that book, No Exit?
Yeah, of course.
Of like hell is other people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for a comedian, that's like a Jean-Paul Sartre. Like hell is just like someone redoing all your material to you. That would fucking drive me.
Oh, yeah.
And while you're stuck in a plane.
Well, what kills me too is when people go, you're nothing like you are on stage. I go, well, I'd get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not. I mean, I like to have fun. I like to laugh, but I don't have to be the fucking centerpiece all the time.
Right.
I get, if you don't get enough attention, we just did these theaters in Canada, fucking 2,700 people in Massey Hall, 2 shows. It's like, how much attention do you need?
Right, right. That's so funny.
Because to me, always the middle acts were the ones that had to be wacky at the diner. And the salt and pepper are talking to each other and shit,
Improv actors, too, when you're out with them, they just fucking don't turn off.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the really good ones,
right.
Not the Second City guys.
Yeah, I feel like the really good anything, they're just, exactly. You get enough of it on stage where you're like, I don't need to constantly be looking for validation.
Yeah. I mean, like Seinfeld, he loves to laugh at people. He's a great audience. And if you go out with him, he's funny, but he doesn't have to be like, here's the greatest Danny Rose story you'll ever hear.
Right.
Remember Broadway Danny Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of, the luncheonette humor.
Who were all those guys at the table in Broadway Danny Rose? Were they all comics from back in the day?
Almost all of them.
Really?
One guy was, I believe it was Jack Rollins of Rollins and Jaffe.
Uh-huh.
And Jaffe was the one I knew.
Okay.
They were producers and managers for Woody Allen.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, Jack Rollins said a story, but the guy who said the Danny Rose story, I believe, was Sandy Barron. Which last time I saw him was pretty funny. He was on the Seinfeld show. He played like the. Did you know Seinfeld real well?
Yeah.
He played like the at the condo where Jerry's parents lived in Florida. He was like the head of the condo association or something.
Oh, that guy's hilarious.
Yeah. But one night I saw him at the Improv, and you don't know what to say. When somebody says something, he goes, I said, Sandy, how you doing? He says, hi, Dom. He says, I said, how's it going? He goes, I just got hit by a car. And all I'm thinking is, oh, I hate that. I hate getting hit by a car. And I kept thinking, like because he was always seemed to be at the bar, a drinker, you know. I'm just picturing him like a cartoon getting hit and sliding into the room and just like being bashed up against the bar. and he just sits there, and the guy goes, usual? Yeah, I'll take a double, you know, because I just got hit by a car.
That's awesome.
But he was the guy when I think he told the long story about Danny Rose and the whole thing with the stuttering ventriloquist.
Right.
Barney Dunn.
Yeah.
Danny, what are you doing here? You know, that's a comics movie.
I've been going through a huge Woody Allen phase lately.
God, he's fucking funny.
I think I just finished watching all of his movies. I mean, I love even the bad ones. I fucking love.
Excuse me, I got to get back to reality. Remember when Christopher Lloyd? No, not Christopher Lloyd. Who was in Annie Hall? Who was
In Annie Hall?
he was Diane Keaton's brother. He's Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah, Christopher Walken, yeah.
Oh, man. So fucking
When it's like,
funny.
sometimes I like to drive.
Yeah, the
Don't you
headlights
ever
are coming on.
Headlights.
Excuse me, I got to get back to the planet Earth. Or one of those things.
Right. Yeah, I think it's funny. Whenever I want to come up with excuses to not work, I look at him and I'm just
he's
every year he's coming out with a new movie. Every fucking year.
Ridiculous. I know.
Are
So
you joking?
creative.
It's like, it's insane. I can't imagine like to write it and then at the same time be directing the one that you wrote last year.
Yeah.
and editing the one from the year before, like just getting it all.
I was always fascinated by him. Yeah, Sean Penn is a big comedy fan, and he was he remembered, like I've known him a long time, since like Ridgemont High days, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he remembers everything. He's fucking amazing. And he said to me one night, he was at the Improv, and he stopped me and, hey man, good to see you. And he asked me about a couple bits that I used to do and that I still do, or whatever. And I says, all right, if I'm going to talk to you about this, you got to tell me what it was like being directed by Woody Allen, because Woody Allen's like one of my idols. And he goes, well, the whole movie, he gave me one note. Excuse me. I go, what was that? He goes, that last scene you did, nothing was right. That was the only note he gave him. Right?
No way.
Yeah. You think he's going to say something so insightful and
Right.
Woody-ish? Nothing.
Wow. Yeah, he's something else, that guy.
The ideas, like when he did, you remember his first movies? I don't know if you ever saw them, like in Take the Money and Run, he was a cello player in a marching band.
Yeah.
So we'd have to run ahead and put the chair down and play a couple. You remember that?
Yeah. Awesome.
Is Kowalski a midget? He's fucking funny.
But you know what fascinates me about him is that even like his more recent movies, like I just saw like Vicky Cristina Barcelona, okay? Where he wrote for Javier Bardem. Was that the guy? I don't know. One of these dreamy fucking Latin guys that are like, very sexy and rude. And he writes and
Cordova.
So fantastically for them. And it's like, how does this little nebbishy Jew know how to write for a smooth, just like sexy Latin? I mean, it was so interesting to me that he can like just write for any character.
I always felt like he kind of had a problem with Italian guys and some kind of admiration for them at the same time.
Right.
Their toughness because he really wrote them very funny. Like in Danny Rose, he wrote, they were like idiots.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm sure he grew up with, he was in Brooklyn.
I'm sure,
grew up
he's
probably around them. Like Jews and Italians back then were like, two sides.
Yeah, was he from? Bay Ridge or?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I know where he's from. I forget the section now. But yeah, like remember the one movie where they lived under the roller coaster?
Yeah. That was in Annie Hall.
That was Annie Hall.
Yeah.
Grammy Hall says you're a real Jew.
A real Jew.
It's funny about Jews and blacks. are the only ones that announce what they are on stage. You know what I mean? I never hear a guy go like Jake Johansson talking about, I'm Swedish. But you hear like there's a certain cadence, because even when I started doing comedy, there were a lot more Jewish comedians in those days.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And the guy would go, because I'm a Jew, ladies and gentlemen. That was
Right.
like as if Jew was the punchline.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think Jew is a punchline anymore.
No.
And I think that a lot of comics that rely on that, it falls flat.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I was coming up, I did a lot of like Iranian jokes and Middle Eastern jokes and stuff like that. And I had a comic, Todd
Glass?
No, black guy. He's dead now. He had like diabetes. I know it's not narrowing it down. The black guy who died of diabetes. Todd. Fuck, I'm forgetting his name.
Doesn't ring a bell. Any Todds other than Todd?
He was
Glass?
like in Patrice's camp, like those guys.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Did you work out at the Cellar too?
No, it's the one club I've never been past at. You know why? I'm not making excuses. I'm not a good hangout comic.
Uh-huh.
I'm not good at doing that because whenever I'm just hanging out, I'm always like, I feel like I could be doing something else right now. I know you're probably great at that, but I'm just like...
No, it's just, the Cellar I was part of the beginning of it.
Right.
And I remember telling the guy to get a place. He asked me where to go. I'm not taking any responsibility or credit for this where the Cellar is, but I told him the West Village.
Yeah.
Says you got those 2 tunnels coming in, bunch of kids walking around looking for something to do.
I mean, it's still the best comedy club in the city. Although it's funny.
But it's really a weird fucking room.
My friends who work there now are saying that there's like a Louis C.K. effect where everyone who watches the show from all over the world now wants to come to the Cellar. So instead of getting these like great New York crowds, you're getting a lot of tourists. And like you can't be as edgy. Kurt Metzger. You know Kurt?
I do.
Kurt was telling me, he's like, you just can't be as edgy as you used to be because it's all tourists who are like, it's not like those New York crowds. Like New York crowds to me are the best.
Well, I was in Long Island last week and
performing.
Yeah,
where Governors.
I did Brokerage and then Governors. Fucking great, so much fun.
Yeah,
But I had a show. It's very weird because they wanted to hear old stuff. I go, but I just want you to know I didn't lose my pen. I want you to, but I did. I'm not gonna be a jerk and not do it, but there's some of it I really don't remember because it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's not like I watch myself, like I'm a fan. Oh, I love this bit. Shut up. Look at this. This will kill you.
That's so fun. That's what Louis does now, is I think he comes out for his encore and then he like asks for requests and then does old jokes he doesn't do anymore.
I don't know. I probably have done this on this podcast before, but we had a thing in Montreal where he would come into the audience and I'd be hosting. And his name was Cunty McShitballs.
Okay.
Right? And he'd been in the audience and he was supposed this fictitious celebrity. And I'd be up on stage like talking to the crowd and I'd spot him. I go, Cunty? Is that you? And I said, Cunty. And like the crowd got into it and I go, Cunty McShitballs, folks. And they all cheer.
All right.
Right? And I go, he was supposed to be a guitar-playing comedian. I go, how about a song? He goes, no. And he happens to have his guitar with him. He goes, oh, okay. We're begging him. And he comes up and does this fucking song. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Cunty McShitballs.
That's so
That wasn't
funny.
his real name.
It was not. No.
Did you work with him in New York?
No, I've never worked with him. Although it's funny, when I was in like 2001, when I had like a day job, I remember watching him perform. I saw a tape of his or something, and I emailed him, and I was like, I'm someone who wants to start being a comedian. You get these emails all the time of like, people are like, I want to be a comedian. Do you have any advice? And I asked him one of those things, and the guy wrote me like fucking 2 pages.
Really?
And I was so impressed. It's still like, he had no idea who I was. I was just like, I love the fact that you do everything. Like he does. I envy people who do like, stand-up and they direct it and they do this and that. And he was like so nice about just like answering all my questions. I thought it was really cool. Maz Jobrani did that for me too when I was starting out.
Maz's a good dude.
Very good dude, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I've said this on the stage before. People would be surprised at how many of us actually get along.
Yeah.
and sit upstairs and just relax, and how integrated it is.
Well, that's what I love about stand-up is that like my colleagues, my peers, you have like a fucking guy who was a lawyer who went to Harvard, sitting next to a guy who went to prison, sitting next to,
Right,
like
right.
everyone just kind of hangs out.
Yeah.
And there's like no classism. There's no like racism.
No,
It's-
there's one guy here, and you know who he is, that ruins the vibe. Other than that,
Is it me? Is this an intervention? Is this what this is?
a little bit. No, but there is one guy here that ruins the vibe, the energy of the room, because whatever his negative energy is, he comes out. You're going to know who it is, but I'll tell you after the show.
Uh-huh.
I usually name names, but I live here,
Right.
so I don't want to name in my house,
You're right.
my house of God.
Yeah.
So who do you want to meet? Which waitress?
Which waitress? I think JC is really great.
JC.
JC, the blonde one.
Jamie? Oh, yeah. Oh, she's beautiful.
She's great. But it's more. She's just like a very sweet person too.
Her aunt helped me get to Tonight Show.
What?
Yeah, her aunt used to be a waitress at the Improv.
No way.
And the guy, Jim McCauley, who used to book it, loved those fucking beautiful blonde waitresses.
No way.
And she says, you got to see Dom. I was a late nighter at the Improv.
That's so funny.
He came in. I didn't know I was auditioning. I did a set. He goes, you want to do Tonight Show? I go, yeah. And he said, well, you got it. I said, this is the coolest thing. He goes, I said, well, do you want to see a set? He goes, I just saw a set. Do what you just did.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
That's so
But
cool.
if it wasn't for pussy,
Pussy.
I don't get that show.
But I've always been very good about not shitting where I work though. Like I take pride in that.
Such a disgusting image too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got to shit. Let's go down to where I work.
I never understood the comics that dated other comics. That to me sounds
Oh,
like
that
such
sounds
a recipe
so
for
fucking
disaster.
boring.
Sounds awful.
And you know what happens too is like, especially if the girl starts getting bigger than the guy, it's really trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, it doesn't usually happen because a guy usually picks a girl who's like vulnerable and enchanted by the whole world, and
Yeah.
she ends up opening for him on the road. And
Right. So gross. That's so weird to me. It's funny. I went out with this actress who she recently moved to LA. She's trying to do her thing. And I really liked her. And I thought she was adorable. And I thought her stuff was really funny. And we'd go out. And all she would do is like, a lot of it was like asking me for advice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'd give her advice and I'd give her advice. And then like the Lionsgate thing happened. And then it was like a whole big bag of advice. And then like it would be like I'd go to drop her off and she couldn't get out of the car quicker. Like no vibe, no like wanting to kiss, no nothing.
Oh, fuck
And then
that.
she'd call like a couple weeks later, like, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, okay. And then we hang out, advice, and then bat out of hell out of my car. And I was like, oh, this is the worst. And it's funny because I've had a rule of like no actresses. Like that's not I want something
No.
completely different. And I like broke the rule once, and I was like, oh yeah, this is why I made that rule.
You know what I want, especially at my age? An
What?
emergency room nurse traveling with me. That's what I
Nurses
want.
are great, actually. Anytime I've dated a nurse or someone in the medical profession, like I love. It's funny before I moved to LA.
Even if you shit in bed, they go, I got it. Don't worry. You're good.
That's awesome, Dom. But I feel like, and I don't know if this was your experience, but before I moved to LA, and I'd rank like what I'm looking for in a woman, intelligence was like number 4, 5. Now it's like skyrocketed to number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like there's so many dumb people in this town that like when you meet smart people, it's so refreshing now.
Yeah. I mean, I this one girl that I went out with, and I was really addicted to her sexually. She was really fucking bright, but fucking wacky.
Yeah.
And the only one I ever had like physical encounters with, where I had to block punches and shit.
Right.
Fucking crazy.
You're like wax on, wax offing.
What's my name? She fucking clipped me in the eye one time. Gave me a black eye.
Oh, my God.
I know. I never did anything really. I mean, I punched her in the arm once.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to hit her in the face. This could be held against me in court.
I mean, it will. I'm not.
Habeas corpus, a statute of limitations.
Oh man, it's funny. I like to think that my satiation, you know how we go out with people that we know are crazy, but we're attracted to that craziness.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm done with that. I feel like I just want someone that's easy and I'm attracted to and cool and like, you know what I run into a lot is fucking dietary restrictions. And that kills me because
With
like
girls?
Yeah, because I love cooking. It's what I fucking
Really?
It's like my meditation. I love
Well, you were
cooking.
telling me you love food
Yeah.
and restaurants, but I didn't know cooking is a whole different world for me.
I love cooking. I love cooking for people. I love going to try wacky food and new places and this and that. And I always end up with girls who are like either vegetarian or vegan or kosher or fucking
Kosher's a bitch.
it's a fucking kosher's a bitch because you'll eat meat that's kosher, but then you won't eat the same meat that's not kosher. It's like it's almost like superstitious to me.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
it
I'm
is.
like, I gotta deal with that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it started for health reasons, didn't it? Or
Yeah, in fucking 3000 BC.
Yeah. things,
I think science has gotten better since then.
things have definitely improved.
Yeah.
Well, you know what helped that wheel? Whoever figured the wheel out. You know what's amazing about the wheel? I never thought I'd say that sentence. Why did it take them so long to put fucking wheels on suitcases?
That took a long time,
When
yeah.
I was a kid, like people would like take 3 steps, drop the suitcase, fucking out of breath, and like why wasn't that like
Right.
Charlie? I got an idea. What is it? They carry suitcases. What about putting wheels on the bottom? That'll never work. That's blasphemy. You're supposed to carry a suitcase.
Charlie, remember that invention that they used to build the pyramids? Why don't we bring that back?
You think that's a bit?
Yeah, I
About
think
the
so.
wheels?
I like that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I never understood that, and I never understood the phrase "the best thing since sliced bread." What the fuck?
Sliced bread must have been huge when it was
Yeah, look at
invented.
this. You don't have to rip it off to put it in your gruel.
Put it in your gruel, exactly. Well, the thing is, back then, people probably had leprosy, and to slice the bread off,
Yeah.
to tear it with your hands, you'd like lose a finger.
Right, with your hand would be, you'd end up eating. What the fuck?
Right.
Oh,
God
there's a
damn it,
finger
if
in
only
it.
this was pre-sliced. Oh, man.
One time I was eating a pretzel, and I have a couple false teeth in the front.
Yeah.
Got knocked out playing ball, and I was eating a pretzel in Ocean City, New Jersey, and I bite it, and there's a tooth in it, in the pretzel, right?
Yeah.
And oh, fuck. It's disgusting. I said to my friend O'Hanlon, I said, Fran, there's a tooth in my pretzel. And he's laughing. He goes, it's your fucking tooth. I didn't even realize it.
It's amazing.
Well,
You know, I never knew how much fucking dental work costs, like cosmetic dental work, until Jamie Masada made me insecure enough to go look into it.
did you get dental work done?
No, I didn't end up getting it, but they want like if you people who get like porcelain veneer shit put in, it's like $2,500 a tooth. So you need to get 4 or 6 teeth.
You're not insured?
No, this is all cosmetic. Insurance doesn't cover it.
Oh, it's just like...
you're dropping like $15,000. That sounds crazy to me.
It's not crazy.
It's not, huh?
How long have we been talking?
You don't think that's crazy?
442. Holy shit.
You don't think that's crazy? $15,000? Am I being a cheap Jew?
I don't know what stuff's worth. I don't know. You're the one that went to Johns Hopkins.
I don't know. $15,000. We should have all become cosmetic dentists. Actually, this is funny. I went to this dentist in Beverly Hills when I was looking into this, and he's like dentist to the stars. He's like that guy, right? And I'm sitting.
Dentist, that's so Hollywood.
He's totally dentist to the stars. And I'm in the waiting room, okay? I'm sitting down on this bench and on the couch. It's me. It's like a 6-year-old girl next to me whose mom is getting work done or whatever. And we're just sitting there. I'm like reading a magazine, and suddenly fucking Matthew McConaughey walks in. Okay? This is like the day after the Oscars when he won like Best Actor. He comes and sits on the other side of the little girl. I'm like, I don't get starstruck. I was fucking like about to shit in my pants, right? And suddenly the little girl goes, "Excuse me, are you an actor?" And McConaughey goes, "Yeah, I am." And she goes, "I wasn't talking to you. Are you on Disney?" I'm like, "Yes, I am on Disney."
That's great.
It was like the day after his Oscar. It was like the best thing that could have happened.
That's fucking great,
It
man.
was so funny.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me,
I think that the next time you're gonna have something cooking. One of these things. I got a good feeling about you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope you're right.
Are you doing any clubs coming up, or are you gonna stay in town?
I'm staying in town.
You don't need to if you can. If you're getting paid for writing. Fuck.
Yeah, I try to stay in town.
I'll
more.
be at the Side Splitters in Tampa, and the Comedy Club in Rochester, Webster, New York.
the Comedy Club.
Have you been there?
You know, it's funny you say that.
I love that they call it the Comedy Club. How cool is that?
Can I tell you that I actually tried to make a reality show about that place?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's half country and western.
Exactly. It's half country western. The guy Mark Ippolito,
How
who
fucking
runs
hot
the
is-
place,
oh, yeah, I love him.
Is fucking awesome.
Karate Mark.
I mean, that place. I actually spent like 4 days up there filming with a production company that I hooked up, and no one ended up buying it yet. I mean, I really believe in that place. There's something special about that place, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. So,
Do you have a Twitter?
oh yeah, at Standup Dan. My website is standupdan.com.
I'm at Dom Irrera. Follow us. We're
Yeah.
going to be a comedy team someday.
Yeah,
Dan Ahdoot.
I'd love to open for you anytime you'll have me.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You're pretty good for that, but thanks. Maybe we could work together in Long Beach or something.
I would love to. That'd be so cool.
All right, Dan, pleasure. Dan
Yeah.
Ahdoot, everybody.
Thank you
You're
very
great.
much, Dom.
See you guys.